The soul returned to Kailash. The mountains stood silent beneath the moon. The same winds moved through the same valleys, and somehow that was exactly what troubled the soul. It sat before Shiva and lowered its head. Lord, it said, I have been thinking about what you told me. Shiva remained silent. You said my reality reflects my inner world. I understood your words, at least I thought I did. The soul's voice trembled. But then I looked at my life. The same disappointments, the same fears, the same struggles. It feels as though I'm walking in circles. For a long moment, Shiva said nothing. Then he asked, Have you ever seen a bull tied to a post? The soul nodded, yes. The bull walks all day, Shiva said. It believes it is traveling far. Yet by sunset it discovers it has moved only in circles. The soul looked up. Shiva asked, What keeps the bull trapped? The soul replied, It's the rope. Shiva smiled. No. The soul frowned. The rope is only a few feet long. The real prison is that the bull never questions the rope. The words landed heavily. The soul fell silent. Shiva continued, Most humans are the same. They blame circumstances, they blame fate, they blame me, they blame other people, but very few stop to examine the rope. The soul whispered, And what is the rope? Shiva's eyes softened. It's your identity. The mountains seemed quieter than before. The soul waited. Shiva said, You think your life is created by your desires, but your life is often created by who you believe yourselves to be. The soul felt uncomfortable because something inside knew exactly what Shiva meant. Shiva continued, Like I said, you say you want love, but how often do you secretly tell yourself that people leave? You say you want peace, but how often do you remind yourself of old wounds? The soul lowered its eyes. For years it had repeated the same stories, not out loud, but within. Stories like, I'm behind, I'm not enough, nothing works for me, maybe this is just who I am. Shiva looked towards the moon. Tell me, he asked, if a man spends 20 years wearing chains, what happens when the chains are removed? The soul thought for a moment and said, He is free. Shiva shook his head. Not immediately, my child. The soul looked confused. His body may be free, but his mind still remembers the chains. The soul understood. For the first time again, it saw that perhaps its greatest limitation was not in the world. It was the image it carried of itself. Shiva spoke again. Humans become loyal to their suffering. The soul looked up in surprise. But Shiva, why would anyone be loyal to suffering? Shiva said, Because suffering becomes familiar and the mind often chooses familiar pain over unfamiliar freedom. The soul sat silently. Every repeated disappointment, every repeated relationship, every repeated fear, suddenly they seemed connected, not by fate, but by identity. Then what should I do? The soul asked. Become someone else? Shiva smiled. No. Become who you were before the world told you who you are. The wind moved gently across the mountains. The soul felt something loosen within, not completely, just enough. Enough to ask a question, a much deeper question, one it had avoided for years. The soul looked at Shiva and whispered, "If I let go of the story I have told myself for so long, then who will I be?" Shiva smiled, but this time he did not answer. The moon continued its silent journey across the sky, and the soul knew it would have to return because the next lesson had already begun.